Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you and yours. We start today's show with Louisiana news and yet another horrific tragedy in our city. This weekend, 17-year-old Nicobia Keller, female, getting on I-110 after leaving an acquaintance's home, and a vehicle pulls up alongside of her car on the interstate and opens fire, killing her. Fortunately, the passenger in the car was not harmed. This brazen act of defiance of all that we hold dear in civilized society is becoming far too frequent. This is an alarming trend that needs to be brought under control ASAP. It's not bad enough that on any given day at any given time, the simple act of reaching for your car keys can result in someone under the influence killing you and or the passengers in your car. But now, in what police believe was a targeted attack. If we don't do everything within our power to be sure something like this never happens again, we are doing a serious disservice to our society as a whole. Mayor Broom's office, in the immediate aftermath, issued the following statement, quote, "The recent shootings on the interstate are both alarming and saddening. My administration has been aggressively working to address public safety. The recent reduction in violent crime has been a part of an existing strategy to make our community more safe. We are committed to continuing this work. Our law enforcement community will stand together to capture the person or persons perpetrating these horrible acts of violence. Anyone with any information concerning these shootings should come forward immediately. Call Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP. To the families of the victims in these cowardly acts of violence, I offer my deepest condolences. Additionally, I want you and every member of our community to know we're working diligently to apprehend the person or persons responsible for these shootings. We will catch them." I don't want to nitpick here, but I don't know if the mayor wrote this release herself or if someone in her office did. And again, I don't want to nitpick, But some may look at this and say, next time, God forbid, there is another shooting of this nature, lead with condolences and prayers for the victims. When your press release starts with the following: the recent shootings on the interstate are both alarming and saddening. My administration has been aggressively working to address public safety. The recent reduction in violent crime has been a part of an existing strategy to make our community more safe. We're committed to continuing this work. I understand, as a politician, wanting to talk about the reduction in violent crime, but tell that to the family of this 17-year-old female. Again, I don't want to nitpick, because the family is going through enough as is. But in the future, lead with that. And then attempt to toot your own horn about the reduction in violent crime. And my gut tells me, I've not performed any poll or anything to that magnitude, but my gut tells me, walk up randomly to 100 Baton Rougeans today and ask them about crime in the capital city. And I don't think you're going to hear them talk about the recent reduction. Quite the opposite. They'll talk about how out of control it has become, not just in our city, but in our state as well. Just an observation. Speaking of crime, and the fact that we have some serious work to do in our city, our state, and for that matter, in our nation. Saw this story released this morning that shows in no uncertain terms we have a judiciary problem in our city and our state. The headline from the ABC affiliate WBRZ News 2 reads, "Man accused of being prolific Baton Rouge drug dealer arrested again while out on bond." Reading from the story, one of the most prolific drug dealers was arrested again this month after an undercover operation found him selling fentanyl to a confidential informant, according to the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office. Frank Beauchamp, might be Beecham, Beauchamp, depending on what part of Louisiana you're from, was currently out on 2 other bonds at the time of his arrest. Investigators say that on 3 separate occasions, he sold fentanyl to a confidential informant. Sheriff's detectives raided homes and a bank account this month, seizing $120,000 in cash from a safety deposit box, and another $27,000 in cash was found at his home. Last week, he was indicted in federal court for a previous drug arrest. When his case got to court, Judge Ebony Johnson Rose set his bond at $890,000. The investigative unit, Chris Nakamoto and that very talented group of individuals at Channel 2, spoke to Judge Johnson Rose, asking why a bond would be set again when he was already out on bond on 2 other cases. The judge said judicial canons prohibit her from talking about any pending cases before her. This is a problem, y'all. This is a major problem. And the fact of the matter is, when individuals are of the opinion that there are no consequences to their actions, they then become emboldened. Now listen, I get it. Somebody's probably saying, well, he was arrested, but the man still got to make a living. Well, when they seize $120,000 in cash, mind you, from a safety deposit box at a local credit union when they seize $27,000 in cash for one of his homes. That's $147,000 cash dollars. I think it's a fairly safe assumption that he's already made a pretty good living. Just saying. How many times do you grant bond to a guy that continues to flaunt his nose at the public, at the law, and at society? And again, lest we forget, we're talking fentanyl here. I don't know what it is going to take. Well, yes, I do. Let me back that bus up. Voting these people out is what it's going to take. And like it or not, realize it or not, it's not just the individual you vote for, it's the party you vote for. Fact of the matter is, conservatives don't believe, under any circumstances, much less a failing school, that a school should be taking time to teach your son that he can be a girl, or take the time to teach in a failing school your daughter that she can be a boy. Yeah, but Clarence, I didn't vote for those people. No, but you voted for the party, and they are beholden to the party. So when you vote Democrat, Democrats assume, well, they voted Democrat, so we can do this in their name. You see how this works? You see how it works? And the sad part is, for many, all they have to do is play a card. Hate card, race card, LGBTQ, LMNOP card. All they have to do is play the card, and automatically you buy what they're selling. In the meantime, all the things that you are against, black folks are the most adamant about not defunding the police. Last poll, 78% of people of color said, oh, heck no, don't defund them. We need more police in our communities because our communities are hardest hit by crime. So what party do you think is pushing defund the police? It ain't conservatives. It's Democrats. Yeah, but I didn't vote for them. But you see how that works? You voted for Democrats. Democrats get in power, and they feel, well, if they voted for us, this must be what they want. And all the while, things that hurt our community the most are the things that they continue to push. At some point, hopefully, you'll figure it out. First break of today's show. When we come back, it's Tuesday, second segment, time for another illustrious edition of Now That's Just Stupid. That's next when we continue the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Man, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi gang, Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. If by chance you're new to the show, you may not be aware that we have instituted a new segment entitled, now that's just stupid. You'll notice the graphic shows you that we're not talking regular STUPID. The level of stupid that we're talking about here requires its own spelling, hence STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start with the halls of academia. And while this is stupid, it's also very, very troubling. If you are a boomer or a member of the greatest generation, you know freedom of expression, the right to voice an opinion, is one of the things that we hold so very near and dear in this country. You also, if you're a boomer, member of the greatest generation, you also understand that higher education has always been a place where unpopular opinions are welcome. You think back to the protest during the Vietnam War era. You think back to any number of things where it was unpopular to say certain things, but it was guaranteed that on a college campus, you would be afforded that right. Well, a new survey is out that shows a very troubling trend. The University of Wisconsin, and this is as liberal a place as you will ever find, Wisconsin. Almost 60% of students that responded to this survey say that they are afraid to share their opinions in class due to the intolerance for dissenting voices on college campuses. while you may say, well, you got to understand that's lib land, that's the land of liberals, that's to be understood. Well, you could probably have some merit to that argument, but it's also identical to other polls that have been taken all across the country. The University of Wisconsin's Menard Center for Public Policy and Service conducted the survey. They asked the students, have there been times where you wanted to express your thoughts in class but decided to remain silent? Right at 57% of students said yes. As a matter of fact, 31% said they were afraid that if they said something in opposition to what most of the class thought, they would have a complaint filed against them for simply expressing their views. Another 37% said they felt pressured by an instructor to agree with a certain viewpoint. Land of the free, home of the brave, makes you wonder, doesn't it? Secondly, this one may be in the top 3, maybe in the top 2 all time. Now that's just stupid. What is so very troubling about this, when you look at the actual event, it's stupid. It's stupid. But then you have to stop and ask yourself, how stupid do these people think we actually are? Recently, the leader of the free world, President Joe Biden, takes a trip to Ukraine. While there, he and President Zelensky decide to take a stroll and take in the sights. Jonathan, do we have the video of what happened during the stroll through the town square in the Ukraine? Roll that for me. You hear the air raid sirens going off? Do you see any Secret Service agents rushing the president to cover? Do you see any of the military personnel trying to get the president out of harm's way? Look at this. They're just strolling around like a Sunday walk in the park. Just so happens, there was a CNN reporter there, had been there for the whole week before the president got there. And they interviewed him. And he said, well, I've been here almost a week and I haven't heard any explosions, hadn't heard any military action, and hadn't heard any air raid sirens going off. Now, you know what this was, don't you? You're not stupid. You know what this was. This was a very feeble and stupid attempt to make Joe Biden look like he's in command and the leader of the free world. How many times can you remember where the leader of the free world was in a situation where air raid sirens went off and everybody continued on about as though nothing was actually going on? You know, it's one thing for you to be stupid. That is what that is. It says what it says about you as the individual. But when you think everybody else is just as stupid as you are, Houston, we got a problem, y'all. We got a major problem. They didn't think far enough in advance to say, well, you know, if we do this, we're going to have to make it look like there was some actual danger at the time. If we do this, we need to be sure that the Secret Service knows ahead of time we're going to do this so they can rush the president off. And then, if we really want to make him look like he's in charge, he'll snatch away from the Secret Service and say, I'm not leaving. I'm standing up with the people of Ukraine. But instead, everybody just kind of, you know, meanders on their merry way, and air raid sirens going off all around the place. But we're supposed to believe that the leader of the free world came that close to being a victim in an air raid, but because he believes so strongly in supporting Ukraine that he stood his ground. If you believe that, you already know what you are. Stoopid. Marty said, stupid. Finally, the granola state, California and San Francisco, show you how we have people running things that don't possess the ability to think down the road. Remember the big old stink that California made and San Francisco? We're not doing business anymore. Our government is not going to spend a single nickel with any other state that doesn't back abortion and any other state that doesn't guarantee rights for LGBTQ, XYZ, MNOP people. We're not going to do it. So, at the time, I guess they figured this was going to catch on. There were 6 to 8 states that were on the boycott list for the people of California's government, that we're not doing business with these people. They're against abortion. We're not going to spend a nickel with these people because they won't guarantee rights for LGBTQ plus people. Well, it's been 7 years now, and the list of states has grown from 8 to 30. Oh, and did I mention, since it's so many states now, over half the states in the union that they are prohibited by law from doing business with, it's caused their budgets to increase by 20%. If you can't buy what you need from this state and you have to go halfway across the country to get what you need from another state that thinks the way you do, you get to pay 20% more for it. But if you listen to them, they'll tell you they're the smart ones. They're the progressives. No, you're not the smart ones. You're stupid. Bottom of the hour break. Speaking of people totally out of touch, when we come back and continue the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, 2 words: tone deaf. That's next when we continue the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, right where you got it, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving a... Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. As painful as it is to watch, it has been a real eye-opening experience for many of my fellow Americans. We have, over the years, prided ourselves on electing government officials that were in touch with the American people. There was a time not so very long ago where an individual exhibiting tone deafness wouldn't stick around very long in public office. The current administration, however, seems to be the exception to the rule. It's almost as though they pride themselves on being 100% out of touch with the people they have been elected to serve. Maybe that's why over the years, many of these people have become of the opinion, I was appointed to rule. I was not elected to serve. That's a different show for a different day. Recently, Joe Biden sat down for an interview with David Muir of ABC News. And David Muir posed this question, quote, 4 out of every 10 Americans, 40%, say they're worse off than when you were elected. Only 16% say they are better off. Why is that? Quote, his response. You make the news, you interview people for the news. Can you think of anything where you turn on the television and go, God, that makes me feel good? So now it's the media's fault? Maybe, since the media all fawns over Democrats, if you did something worth half a hill of beans, they'd be happy to report on it. But you hadn't done anything. But according to Joe Biden, the problem's not that we haven't done anything. It's that you folks in the media haven't been effective at spinning what we haven't done. Totally, completely out of touch. In the same interview, David Muir asks the leader of the free world, Mr. President, many people are wondering how it is that you can continue to spend the kind of money that you're spending in Ukraine. I'm not going to insult you with this answer because, as is typically the case, it's more blah, 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 blah. Y'all stupid and don't understand the world stage. Blah, 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 blah. Is this what you voted for? Billions and billions and billions of dollars. And you do realize, do you not, despite the narrative that the mainstream media is pushing regarding the sanctity of Ukraine and how if the world, more importantly the United States, does not rush to their aid, democracy and freedom all across the planet are in danger. You do realize, do you not, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt places on planet Earth. We have very little to no oversight on these billions of dollars, your dollars, that we're sending to this corrupt regime and how it's being spent. But never put it past these folks who have become masters of fear-mongering. They figured out a long time ago, y'all, if you scare people bad enough, COVID-19, you can get anything you want. And speaking of COVID-19 and scaring the bejesus out of people, I've told you over and over again, the most effective way to do it is to use something that you cannot touch, taste, see, or smell. That way, you can convince people that it's everywhere. And if you don't do what we say you should do, it's going to get you. Despite the fact that 98, 99% of the people that get COVID survive it. Despite the fact that 97, 98% of the people who get it won't even know they had it. But that doesn't fit the narrative. Once again, and the same country, Ukraine, where Joe Biden openly, in front of the media, let it out. Remember when the $1 billion in aid under then President Barack Obama was dangled in front of Ukraine? And Joe Biden loved to tell the story. Well, they had this prosecutor there that was looking into corruption. And I told him, if you don't fire this prosecutor, that $1 billion, you can forget about that. And they told me, this is Joe Biden, and I'm paraphrasing, they told me, you don't have the authority to withhold the $1 billion. And I told them, if you don't fire this prosecutor looking into corruption, watch and see what happens. And his words, not mine. If you got kids in the room, hit the mute button in 3, 2, 1. Joe Biden said, I told him if I get on the plane and he's not fired, the $1 billion is going with me. And son of a bitch, what do you think happened? They fired him. Now, when you take that into account and the fact that the Ukraine is where his son was paid $82,000 a month to sit on the board of an energy company, despite the fact that he had zero experience in the energy sector, you start adding all these things up, and it doesn't take long for you to question the validity of what the Biden-Harris administration has been preaching to people about Ukraine. Vladimir Zelensky last week said, well, if y'all don't send us the money and help us fight Russia, y'all gonna lose NATO. Excuse me? Number one, you're not a member of NATO. So where you get off dictating terms is beyond me. Number two, what sort of assurance are American taxpayers getting that the billions of dollars that we are sending to a country that is so corrupt it's mind-boggling? And if that weren't bad enough, it appears as though the Biden-Harris administration wants to have an open-ended pipeline of billions and billions and billions of your dollars feeding to this corrupt government. But if you say anything about it, oh, well, you're anti-democracy. No, I'm somebody looking out for my tax dollars that are being sent in bundles of billions to a place that is obviously corrupt as all get out. Of course, now, when you consider the track record of the current administration, really shouldn't shock you all that much. I mean, after all, close to 8 billion other American dollars was left in military equipment in Afghanistan in that debacle of a withdrawal under the Biden-Harris administration. You screwed up getting out of Afghanistan, and I'm supposed to trust you with billions more of my dollars to get in Ukraine? Marty, what was the comedy skit? Homie the Clown. I don't think so. And this guy can't figure out why Americans aren't getting behind the initiatives of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You figure it out. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Spuggs Show. You know, it is troubling watching the trends in media these days. And if you stick around long enough, Lord willing, you develop the ability to read between the lines. Not so very long ago, probably because it was on national television, all of America and lots of the world glued into Damar Hamlin after collapsing and having to be revived on national television. And of course, since then, we've had countless municipalities now deciding, well, we need to buy a bunch of defibrillators and have them all over the place in case this should happen to somebody else. I find it interesting that the mainstream media has been neglecting the stories of all these people suddenly dropping dead. The media, allegedly, is there to inform us about what's going on and the repercussions or ramifications, if you will, of government policy on everyday people. Recently, I made it a point to scour as many liberal mainstream media websites as possible, and I saw no mention of these stories. 25-year-old Belgian goalkeeper for soccer stops a penalty kick wins the game for his team, drops dead on the field. 25 years old. A 12-year-old boy in New Jersey at football practice dies suddenly. 12 years old. 30-year-old athlete in Arizona collapses and dies. We had averaged for the better part of 40 years, every year, around the entire planet, it averaged about 66 healthy, normal, active athletes dropping dead. 66 a year. That's the whole planet. Magically, 2 years ago, the number shot through the roof. In the most recent statistics, 1,750 athletes being stricken with cardiac arrest, 1,214 of them died. So we went from 66 a year to 1,214 in 1 year. And not a peep from the mainstream media. Now, conventional wisdom and a thinking person would say, maybe there is some connection here. Is there a, quote, common thread? I think we all know what the common thread is. What happened over the last 2 years that had not happened before, and all of these people took part, and all of a sudden, all these people, normal, healthy, 12-year-old, 25-year-old, 30-year-old, just dropped dead. And you still get your news from CNN, LOL, MS, LSD, ABC, NBC, Marty's favorite, C, the BS. They are hiding this from you. And you know what may be adding insult to injury? The drug makers of the safe and effective vaccine, they lie to you 3 times with just 4 words. Safe and effective vaccine. Number 1, it's not safe. People are dropping dead from it. Why do you think it's nicknamed the clot shot? Ask funeral home directors, morticians, embalmers, what they've been discovering ever since we started putting that stuff in people. Well, maybe it's not safe, but it is effective. No, it's not. It won't stop you from getting it, and it won't stop you from giving it to somebody else. So that's a lie. Safe and effective vaccine. It's not a vaccine. It's an experimental gene therapy oriented drug. It is not a vaccine. But you see, they went all in on this. And now, word is getting out that, wait a minute, y'all been lying to us. You told us we got to put on a mask. That's the only effective way to fight it. And we now know that that was a load of horse hockey. We know it now. Plus all the other lies they told you. But now they're afraid if we tell people what's actually going on, and as adamant as we were about it, there's a possibility they won't believe anything else we have to say. Now you're catching on. Some of y'all are slow, but you get there eventually, sooner or later, provided that is you don't drop dead between now and then. There needs to be a reckoning, y'all. There needs to be an accounting. And the fear-mongering, the misinformation, the disinformation has most people so afraid they never entertain the thought of, where did this come from? Oh, you know where it came from. It was in a bat in a wet market, and somebody bought the bat and ate it, and they caught it, and then they gave it to somebody else, and it ended up spreading all over the world. Okay. See, what had happened was, but they know. The majority of you, like a bunch of vegetables, will sit there and listen to CNN, MSLSD, the rest of the alphabet soup that plays you like a cheap violin. They know. If we tell it, they'll believe it. How's that working out for the 1,214 previously totally healthy athletes that just dropped dead? And that's not even beginning to talk about regular folk that never make the news because they're not a big-time athlete. Just a little something to make you go, That being said, Marty's giving me the evil eye, which means my time's up and I gotta go. But you already know the drill. I do it I've been doing it every day for God knows how many years now. You know what? You're right. 100% true. I give it to you. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. God bless.